Everyone, it's Suey here. Today I want to talk about the forced phases that I have done this past year. Sort of a forced phase yearly wrap up. As you may or may not know, I was spurred on to start this channel by the idea of doing forced phases, sort of publicly sharing with people what I've decided to concentrate on and study. I had thought about a BookTube channel for a long time, but I didn't know how I could be a little bit different or a little different spin on things. So when I saw this idea of a forced phase or a study festival, somebody called it once too, then I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. And would it be fun to talk about it on a channel and make that be part of a BookTube agenda? So that's what spurred me on to actually do this after thinking about it for a long, long time. Now, I must say, I don't know if it has gone over exactly how I envisioned it. First of all, I feel like saying that I'm going to do a focused study on something kind of puts some pressure on me that I feel anxious about sometimes and causes me to maybe not read some other things like I would like to, if that makes sense. Also, I was hoping that I would get some more back and forthing with people, and I don't know if anybody did any of the topics with me or if you chose some of your own topics and were inspired to do your own forced phase. I didn't get a good feel. That actually worked a little bit. But that all being said, I feel like it was fun enough and intriguing enough to continue on for another year and keep trying. I have absolutely no idea what I want to do in the next year, and that's part of the fun of it, is just going with the spur of the moment and seeing what you might be interested in for a second and then going and learning about it. Okay, so we'll see how it goes for another year. Anyway, I thought I would wrap up and tell you, especially for those of you who haven't been with me the whole year, these are the things that I worked on this past year. We started out in January or February with a British monarchy forced phase. I wanted to do that one because that was when the Harry and Meghan documentary was kind of, I don't know, I might have been late to the train on that one, so I'm not exactly sure when it first came out, but that's when I was watching it, so I was intrigued by it, and we were all talking about Spare. We decided to read it for book club, which we discussed in November, but we talked about it all year long. Everybody was struggling to get their hands on it, so that was my first one because of Harry's book, basically, and documentary. And I did read one other book, I think, about Henry VIII, which he's fascinating to me. I think that's about all I did with that one. I didn't read a whole lot of other books that I was thinking about reading. But I'm always intrigued by this subject. I'm intrigued that I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued that the world is intrigued. Like, why? Like, why do we even care? That in itself is fascinating. Just such a iconic thing, and something that's been around for so long, and something that's been such a part of history, and that it's still going. So it's just fascinating. And then in the spring, I did a study on intermittent fasting, and I did read and listen to several books and learned about how this works. I started following a YouTube channel, an older lady talking about how it helps older ladies, and I did start doing it. I was pretty focused with doing it starting then, and maybe for several months, enough that I did notice a little bit of difference. I didn't lose very much, maybe, I might have done 5 or 7 pounds or so. Anyway, it was really interesting to learn about, and I had to reprogram my thinking. So I enjoyed that one. I still get angry and defensive about food and dieting and all that, and it is a struggle. This also will go down as one of the most interesting comments I got on the short I did with the book Fast, Feast, and Repeat. Somebody told me I was an idiot because I was talking about something I didn't know about or something. I'm not exactly sure now what they got bugged about with me, but I will remember my little intermittent fasting forced phase for sparking some interesting comments from people. And then in the summer, I didn't really want to worry about too much, so I called it the fluffy summer reading. So I did read several fun YA romances, and I can't even remember what else I read in the summer, but I just tried to make it light and fun and stress-free. It was sort of an unofficial forced phase, I guess. And then in August, September-ish, I decided I wanted to learn about sourdough baking. I came home from my daughter's in July with sourdough starter, something I've always wanted, but been very, very intimidated by. So I watched YouTube videos, I checked out a book from the library, learned about it. I talked with my daughter a lot about it as she was learning it and I was learning it, and experimented a lot. At first, I thought I was doing pretty good. The last few bread making sessions I've had have turned out terrible. So I've been discouraged the last week or two, and last week I ignored my sourdough. I did not feed it. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna go feed it today and maybe make some bread again and try to figure out what I've done differently to change it up, because at first the bread was amazing. Now it's not. I don't know what I've done different. It really is a weird thing to figure out. They say you can't kill your sourdough. They say just to try everything, but it is so frustrating to have it go backwards. Like, I don't know what to do. It's very interesting though, and I'm very interested to keep trying, I guess, but I've been discouraged this week. And then, because I went to a class where somebody talked about their sketch journal, I was like, I want to do that. I can't draw, so I don't want a sketch journal. I just want a notebook where I can write all the things. So I realized that this was basically a bullet journal. So I thought, could I do a bullet journal that's not really a bullet journal? That's kind of like a bullet journal, but kind of like a sketchbook, but kind of like a journal, but kind of like a notebook, a list notebook that I have. And I thought, would it be fun to combine them all into one? So I decided I would learn about that, my anti-bullet journal forced phase. What I found out mostly is that bullet journaling YouTube videos are extremely mesmerizing, you guys. Oh my word, you can sit there and watch them color in their notebooks forever. And I'm just watching them like with my mouth on the floor going, how do people do this? So I've learned by investigating bullet journaling a little bit, I didn't do very much, that I really, really can't do a true bullet journal. And I am also still nervous to write in my thing. Here's my bullet journal right here. I have a list. Anyway, I'm still nervous about it because I still feel like it's supposed to be beautiful and cool and artistic and laid out a certain way and all that. So I need to get over that still. I want it to be okay to be messy, and I don't know if I can reprogram my brain again to tell myself that it's okay for it to be messy. So there we go. That was the last one I talked about, I think like in October, and I haven't done anything since then. Those are my 5, was it 5? 5, let me look at my little list. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. My 5 areas of focus that I did this year. It was fun. I did learn stuff. I don't know if I actually consumed very much books or anything about all these things, but I tried. And I did bring some new things into my life. Several new things into my life, actually. So I guess that's the whole point of it. And just to feel like you expanded your world a little bit. So on to another year of doing just that. And I would love for you to join me, whether you do what I'm doing, whether you make suggestions of something I can do. Please in comments, make suggestions of things you think we could do together if you want to do something together. Or if you just want to do your own thing and we just talk about what we're doing. I want more interaction with doing these things, I guess. So, but like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do next year, but I'm not going to think about it till the new year starts. It's been a great year and I've really enjoyed what I've done, and let's do it again. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.